Hello, all, and welcome to tonight's beer review. I know I said I was going to be doing that Anchor Brewing retrospective. That's going to be tomorrow night. I was at the supermarket and I saw that Golden Road had basically, they had they had a sampler case out and it was on sale, so I couldn't help myself. It was a really good price. So yeah, I picked that up. And Golden Road, as you know, is a brewery out of Los Angeles, and they do a lot of wheat beers. Apparently, kind of celebrate the Hispanic heritage of much of the greater Los Angeles area in their beers. And this one is no exception. So I've reviewed Mango Cart before, a while back though. I think it was a few years back. And apparently they have a spicy rendition of it. And there was an earlier version of it that was at 3.2 ABV. This one's at 4.0 ABV. And it's basically the Mango Cart wheat beer with the addition of chilies. Now, what kind of chilies, I have no idea. And I actually didn't do a pre-taste on this one. Why didn't I do a pre-taste on this one? Well, in general, I don't really like spiced beers, well, pepper beers all that much. So, I don't think, I think part of it will be lost on me. And you want to know what the really interesting thing is? I am a massive pepperhead when it comes to food, but pepper beers just don't do it for me. Go figure. So, yeah, going to be reviewing this blind off the bat. So it's going to be an interesting one. Mango beer is somewhat of a dangerous proposition for me, being that I'm allergic to mango peels. Not allergic to the flesh of the fruit itself, but very allergic to the mango peels. So yeah, if I suddenly start bloating up and die on camera, well, this isn't a live stream. But generally speaking, nobody actually eats mango peels because they taste like turpentine. But yeah, so kind of a slightly cloudy opalescent golden yellow with a thick, fluffy white to off-white head that is redolent of mango. Oh boy. Yeah, I would say this smells even more of mango than the regular mango cart. That or this one, yeah, this one is like really fresh. So, you know, those smells are going to be big. And that's why you really want fresh beers. One of the things that beer loses really quickly as it ages, especially lighter bodied beers, is their bouquet. So you got that mango, but you got a little bit something else under there, something a little bit vegetal. So I'm not really smelling the peppers, but there's definitely a hint that mango isn't the only thing going on here. There's also, of course, wheat and funk, but being that this is American style wheat ale, it's not as strong as it would be with, say, a Hefeweizen. Yeah, and just smelling it gives me a little tickle in my nose. But yeah, definitely very mango forward. Onto the palate now. Well, you're hit first by the taste of Mango Cart, the original base beer. So you got that mix of mango and wheat. But instead of like sort of refreshing flavor comes in after, You get a mild burn, you know. And I can't quite identify what kind of pepper it is. All I can say is that it is more attacking the back of my mouth and tongue than the front. That said, it's not particularly spicy for a pepperhead like me. If you're not into peppers at all, yeah, this is going to be somewhat of an unpleasant surprise. But you don't really get much of a chili flavor, just sort of chili heat. Let me go and check again. Yeah, so in the top note, which is mostly mango, you do get a little hint of what feels like dried chilies as a smell. And then the finish, along with that wheat and funk and residual burn, which is honestly the residual burn is probably the strongest, but as a pepperhead, you know, this is kind of just to be expected. You do get also kind of a vegetal note in that long finish. Again, I can't tell if it's a green chili or a red chili. I'm going to guess, you know, it's red chili because they put red on the can. And it does seem to have a slightly darker tinge to it than most American wheat ales here. But the thing about the pepper, and while I like pepper, is that it totally removes the refreshing element of the beer, you know? So it doesn't feel like I'm drinking a light bodied wheat ale. It's kind of like if I went and got a burrito and I bit into it and it was filled with watermelon and it was delightfully refreshing, but it's like, that's not what I want in my burrito. You know, whereas, you know, really spicy meats, that would be great in a burrito. I mean, it's better than other pepper beers that I've had before because for some reason, whenever I have like dark malts and heavy hopping dark malts in peppers, it don't mix with me, you know. So at least a lighter body, there's no like taste clash, as it were. I don't like the feeling of roast in pepper in a beer, apparently, because I do like grilled peppers, which do have a smoky taste to them. Actually, I wonder if somebody's actually ever done like a Rausch beer or a smoked ale. Well, actually, it's not going to be a smoked ale; it's going to be a smoked lager um, with peppers, because that actually would be really interesting. Because I've only reviewed one Rausch beer before, and I've only had like two really smoked beers before. And I remember this savory umami aspect to it that kind of almost give it a touch of barbecue. I kind of wonder, I think that would be the kind of pepper beer style I think would go well with peppers, you know? Something that's more roasty, has touches of umami to the mouthfeel and taste. Um, yeah, yeah, this, if you're not used to peppers, I would stay away from this. You know, It's not showing any reaction to me, but literally, I'm the kind of person who can put Reaper sauce directly on my tongue and not freak out or be like, ah! So yeah, it's nowhere near as hot as that. Don't worry about that. It's not anywhere near as hot as that. It's not even like Cheyenne pepper hot. But it's hot enough that someone who is not regularly exposed to peppers would probably be deeply uncomfortable with it. So in other words, the vast majority of my family. Which is something I find ironic, because let's just say I'm not white, obviously, but the majority of my family kind of has a very white, white American palate for a mixed race family from Hawaii, you know, um, where like, what could I say? Like Taco Bell is considered spicy. Yeah, I know. I remember this one time, and my grandmother, bless her soul, she could not handle spice at all. She she always joked that she kind of inherited like the Scottish palate, because her father was Hawaiian, Scottish, and German, so you know, um, Scottish food being renowned for being kind of bland. But I once brought back like this food that I didn't even register as spicy. It was just like some taquitos that a friend had made, and like it just tasted like you know fried rolls. But so I offered her some, and it wasn't even like a prank. Oh, this I'm gonna give my grandma some spicy food that she can't handle and see what happens. So it was like, oh, this is really tasty. You want to try my friend's food, grandma? And it was like I had pepper sprayed her or something. Tears, red face, grabbing the milk and everything, and I'm like, grandma, it's not that spicy. And like I'm starting to think, yeah, there's like a touch of spice to it. But it wasn't like spicy, but just that little touch of pepper just was too much for her. And she would always joke about how I was going to burn a hole in my stomach with my love of hot sauces and everything. Like, Pa, what you doing cooking? You put that Tabasco sauce away. You're gonna hurt yourself. Oh God, I miss you, Grandma. Here I am toasting her with something that she would find utterly repulsive, but she was a woman with a good sense of humor about things like that. But yeah, spicy mango cart. It is what it says on here. It is spicy. If you're a pepperhead, it's not going to blow you away. If you're not used to spice, it will definitely be challenging, to say the least. Pepper, the heat pretty much defines the beer. There is that nice mango wheat ale as a backbone underneath it, but I mean, it's basically the same as the regular mango cart from Golden Road. So yeah, I mean, if you're a pepper beer lover, this one might be one to try. Um, for me, it's kind of a one-off. I'll finish the ones that I got as part of this variety pack, but I am pepper beers will never be something that I chase. But I have to say that this one, I'm not going to say offensive because I mean it is doing what it's supposed to be. Um, it's probably the one that doesn't clash with me the most, which is ironic because I love peppers. You know what I mean? But I already talked about that. So that is your beer review for this week. Well, not really. Well, new beer review for this week, since tomorrow's mostly just going to be me rambling. And I already had a new beer review yesterday, so yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, cheers.